गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः वर्णानामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वरकपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभां यन्मायाविषवर्तिविश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवां बोधेति तीर्षावतां वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिं नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथगाथा भाषा निबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषा निबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः सीताया पतये नमः सीताराम कहूँ. We are in Balakand, Adhyatma Ramayana, Balakand chapter 7, verse number, I think we are looking at 39. And last week, where are we? We are talking about satsang. सत्संगत्वे निस्संगत्वम निस्संगत्वे निर्मोहत्वम निर्मोहत्वे जीवन मुक्ति ही निर्मोहत्वे निश्चल तत्वम निश्चल तत्वे जीवन मुक्ति. एक जब खा गया बीच में. So this is here he is saying यावत त्वत् पाद भक्तानाम संग सौख्यम न विन्दति तावत संसार दुःखौघान nivarten narah sada. In 38th verse it was told till the time a person does not, here I told you last week, yavat tavat, two lines are there. These two words always go together. So till the time a person does not enjoy twat pada bhaktanam, those who are enjoying the company of your lotus feet, or those who are devoted or surrendered to your devoted feet, saukhyam na vindati, he cannot get over the tavat, till that time, during that time, uh, tavat sansara dukkhau ghan na nevarten narah sada. Narah sada, the men always. What will not, till he does not enjoy the company of those who are devoted to your feet, till then he cannot go beyond the miseries of the samsar, the troubles of the samsar, the coming and going of the samsar, because we we having got identified with our body and mind, we have got the wrong uh, uh, position, and we are thinking all this is going to give me peace, tranquility, and it is not. So where is the problem? The problem is in the identification with the mind. Your disposition that I am someone in the mind, and with that begins the samsar. Till we don't come into the satsang with the tvatpada bhaktanam janaha, till then this transformation will not happen. Many people go to temples, go to Char Dham, go to everywhere, but they are afraid to go to scriptural classes. Why? They are afraid to go to Mahatmas. One person told here in Melbourne only, "Oh Baba, I am afraid to go in front of Swamiji Maharaj." Why? Why? When I am in front of him, whatever he says, that's exactly, he knows me inside out. So I am afraid that he will come to know whatever is going on in my mind. डरे हुए हैं. But God knows, masters know. And without making you feel bad, they bring about a gentle transformation in you. In fact, they don't do anything. They are just being them. Just by being in their company, whatever you rub chandan to, whatever you rub sandalwood to, that will also start smelling as having what do you call, क्या बोलते हैं, sandalwood fragrance. But you know, in India, we used to put those balls in the clothes so that moisture is not there, phenyl ki goliyan. So what will be the clothes smelling as? Phenyl, not chandan. So whom are we having company with? Those who are worldly in their approach, they are phenyl ki goliyan. Those who are God oriented, they are chandan ki goliyan. They are sandalwood. Which one do you want? All we have to do is be with them. That's all. That's why the satsangs, that's why the what do you call, this is good on Zoom, but it doesn't work. It is not effective. It has to be. That's why this eagerness that Swamiji is coming. That's why the eagerness when we go to India, meet various masters, be in their presence, sit at their feet. Why? If they were not necessary, if teachers and gurus were not necessary, then everyone would have got realized through YouTube. But it doesn't happen. We have to be in the presence, in the company. Yes, this is, if nothing is available because of COVID, this is the best way. At least it is going on. So, by being in their company, we overcome while living in this world, we overcome all the trials and tribulations of the world. Then the next verse was, Tat Sanga Labdhaya Bhaktya Yada Tvam Samupasate Tada Maya Shanairyati Tanavam Pratipadyate. When he worships you with devotion which he has gradually acquired by constant, persistent diligent contact with your ardent devotees, this Maya or ignorance of yours gradually, slowly, bit by bit leaves him and becomes weak and diminutive over a period of time. And therefore, here the importance of satsang is being given. When I went many years ago, I'm talking about 93, I still remember. 93, I went to Hawaii. In Hawaii, I went to, you must have read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. His seminar for 21 days, I went to study with him. And all the techniques of how to be successful in this world, but through win-win technology. And it was very good. But even while I was there, it was showing that it is going to be, it is more desire oriented rather, but it was good. I wanted to start a business that time. On the last day, second last day, third last day, 19th day, 19th day, or maybe 2 days before that, Robert Kiyosaki asked me, hey, can you call this Swami from Kauai Island, Subramaniam Swami, that American Swami who publishes Hinduism today, whose master is Yoga Swami from Sri Lanka, where we visited, when we went to that ashram and sat there in meditation. So that Subramaniam Swami, can you call him and see what arrangements need to be made here for his welcome and for his stage and everything? So I called him and Swamiji spoke to me. He said, son, don't worry. I'll come with my person and I will take care of everything. You don't have to do anything. Don't stress. You enjoy. Tell Robert also to enjoy. I said, okay. I communicated the message. He said, no, how can it be? Please ask him again. Maybe he's being nice. I called him again. He says, son, give it. I will speak to him. He spoke to him. He said, okay. He came. 3 hours, 150, 170 of us. 3 hours he engaged us. For the first 1.5 hours, first half an hour he chanted some mantras. He means his disciple chanted some mantras. He had all the dhoop, whoop. He looks like Shiva sitting on stage. And thereafter, 1 hour meditation. He just said, close your eyes, relax, don't change your position. And he said, don't worry, if you are sleeping, still whatever I'm going to tell after the meditation, it will still go into you. It will come out when it is required. And many people, you can see them snoring or sleeping or deep in meditation for 1.5 hours. After that, he spoke for 1.5 hours or 1 hour. And in that, whatever we had studied in 18 days, he covered in that 1 hour. Next morning, he came for breakfast and he was going from table to table. And in one of the, when he came to my table, I got up and touched his feet. He says, I said, sir, I want to ask you, Swamiji, I want to ask you one question. That was the first Swami ever I met in my life. I want to ask you one question. He said, yes. I said, what we paid so much and studied for 21 days, you covered so easily in 1 hour. So he put his hand on my shoulder. He says, son, tell me, where are you from? I said, from India. He says, are you a Hindu, Christian, Muslim? What? I said, I believe everyone, but I am born Hindu. He says, have you read Bhagavad Gita? I said, no. He said, Bhagavatam? I said, no. He said, Upanishads? I said, no. He says, Durga Saptashati? No. He says, you have not studied anything. I said, yeah, I do a little bit of yoga and pranayam. That's about it. I've been practicing that for a long time. Oh, okay. He said, if you studiously dive into any one of the texts, whether it be Bhagavad Gita, whether it be Yoga Sutra, whether it be Bible or Quran, or he says all these techniques of being successful, which they are teaching you here, they are all given in there. I was supposed to start a business. I had already registered. I had already got the partners. I went there to refine myself. I came back and I pulled out of the business. It became a 1 year later, I was in the ashram. This is what satsang does. I still didn't study because I just could not focus on the scriptures. But my japa began that time. See, one satsang with one master brought a 180 degrees turn in my life. Yes, sadhana was going on before, but this urge that I don't want to get caught up in a business, I don't want to get caught up in loans, I don't want to get caught up in this samsar, then what I want to get caught up in? I want to be caught up in Lord. This shift, then you are becoming available to every opportunity where the Lord's name is being taken. Initially, it is an outward approach. You go to temples, you go to satsangs. Some of the friends who, all of us as a group, we had gone to Hawaii. We came back. We all started satsang. Every week we used to get together and study Gita or Course of Miracles or something we used to take. But all that then fizzled away. Each one went their way slowly in 2 years. See? So man is the company what he keeps, is the company he keeps. What company are we keeping? Not only outside, in here also, what company are we keeping? Are we keeping the company of tu meme, me versus him? How the world is bad? Or are we keeping the company in the mind of the Lord's name? This decision we have to make. Nobody can make it for us. We can come across many satsangs and masters and at a drop of a hat declare, I have met so many masters, I had his darshan, I have direct entry to him, I know people in Tirupati and I can go directly to the Balaji. All that is not equal to devotion. All that is not equal to the shift that is required within. It is only a trumpeting of all the contacts you have and how lucky you are and how blessed you are because you know so many people. Don't call anyone and let it happen. Once we went to Kolhapur Lakshmi and we were standing in queue. How many? 21 of us standing in queue. And the queue was only up till the entrance. And we were thinking, by the time we were thinking, the queue went almost half a kilometer towards the bus stand. Within that half an hour, I go, my God, ab kya kare? And then I found another parallel queue starting and 21 of us got into the queue. And we were ready to go. It would have taken 2-3 hours to get to the darshan, but it was okay. We were ready to slog. Some person standing there came. He said, Swami, come here. I went. Some of the people also started. No, you keep the place. Don't go anywhere. He says, no, you come from here and you can go straight away inside. I said, we are standing in the queue. If afterwards some other security guard will stop us, why should we take that risk? He says, I am the security guard. But not in the dress. I am the security guard. I am telling you, Please go inside. You look like you have come from outside. You're not from here. So I'm ready to allow you. He says his words were, Lakshmi Mata is asking me to let you go in. And then I called everyone and we went in. Still, it took 1 hour to complete the darshan, but 2 hours were saved. See, not by colleague contacts, not by paying money. Read our Papa Ramdas's Jeevani, In Quest of God. It's an eye opener. How to live at Lord's mercy. Completely surrender to Him. So when one worships you with devotion which he has gradually acquired, it is not a sudden. It is not, Swami ji, sar ke upar haath lagao. Kyun? Somewhere in one of the trips, it was at Kali Mata temple. Myself, Raj, Prashila, and one more Amma, and only 5 of us has gone to Calcutta. And at Kali Mata temple, one lady came, stood in front, touched my feet, and wouldn't get up. She says, until and unless you don't touch my head, I will not get up. अरे यार जबरदस्ती है, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता. But if a person is ready, and even a kataksha netra, even a sideward glance by a realized master falls upon you, Shaktipat happens. Just a wayward touch by him invokes the transformation within you. Satsang is for transformation. It is not for networking. It is not for networking with Lord, not with people. Finding different pathways to the Lord. Sometimes through bhajan, sometimes through meditation, sometimes through pranayam, sometimes through capacity to sit for 5 minutes to 2 hours. Keep experimenting. Lose yourself in the satsang. Be nobody when you are with a master. Our Swamiji keeps saying, when you are with us, when you are by yourself, follow 100% discipline. When you are traveling, follow only 25% of your discipline. When you are with a Mahatma, follow zero discipline. Be a Kamandalu, meaning be the water in the Kamandalu. When a master is walking, however he walks, the water inside his pot keeps moving this way or that way, depending upon how the master is walking. If he is still, the water is still. If he takes the right leg forwards, the water will go rightwards. Then he takes the left leg forward, then the water in the pot will go leftwards. We also do the same. If Swamiji says eat, you eat. If he says go out of the room, go out of the room. Nothing to feel insulted about. I want to be alone, let him be alone. So slowly, by devotion, by company of saints and sages, by company of satsang or devotees of the Lord. And when is it? It is not once in a week. It is not weekend. Not WEEK. It is WEAK. Weekend. That is weekend spirituality. Weekend spirituality. It has to be persistent, disciplined way. Every day we have to engage with the divine. Not only in the morning and evening. Initially do it start that way. But as we start with commitment, with devotion, with surrender, it takes over our life. You start one spark. You start one spark on a heap of paper. Only on one side you start the spark. One matchbox, one matchstick, light it. Slowly, gradually, persistently, it goes and envelops the entire heap of paper. Doesn't take too long as it is persistency is there. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Continuous interaction with it. Engagement with the practice. And you don't have to practice till the end. It needs to mature only to a particular level. Just as that fire has to spread not to every piece of paper. Initially, what it is doing, it is going from first paper to second paper to third paper. By the time it comes to the third paper, it starts jumping. It starts from third to 4, 5, 6 together. Then after that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 together. And as its momentum is increasing, and a critical heat is generated within that heap, and when that critical heat is generated, suddenly the fire, without going in a linear manner to every paper, suddenly there is spontaneous combustion. Boom! Every paper in the heap catches fire instantaneously. This is exactly what happens on the seat of meditation. Or not necessarily on a seat of meditation, it happens in the life of a devotee. Initially, we keep rising, and our vices are going, and our concentration is increasing, our distractions are decreasing. Our remember Kshipta, Vikshipta, Moodha, and Niruddha. These type of four minds are slowly depleting in their intensity. And ekagrata is single pointedness, that is increasing towards the Lord. With that, if it is done with bhav, it increases even more. If it is done mechanically, what is mechanically? Oh, I have to do 12 malas every day. तीर मार लिया, 12 माला कर ली. After that, frustration because ego trip. I have to do 12 malas. If I don't do it, I will not sleep. God doesn't want how many malas you do. He wants your heart. So even if we have taken one name of the Lord, with what intensity, with what devotion, with what surrender, with what availability, bhav we have taken, that is more important than how many names we have taken. Otherwise, we do our morning puja mechanically, we do our japa mechanically, we do our meditation also mechanically. We don't do anything with awareness. So when we practice, as our ekagrata increases, constant, persistent, diligent contact with your ardent devotees, not only the outside people, but also thinking of saints, sages, God, Ishvara in your mind. This journey is both outward and inward. Outward is required when internal stability is not there. Till then, outward is required. And as a result, see, just like when you put the fire, put that spark to the paper, initially smoke rises. But as that heap catches fire, there is no smoke. Same thing is us. Smoke is, heat is generated, yes. But the smoke is all the shortcomings within us, all the wrong conclusions of our life, all the regrets of our life, all the desires of our life, expectations of our life, memories of our life. They are getting burnt in that single pointed concentration or devotion towards the Lord. It must happen because memory is of an individual. And who you want to be? You want to be one with the divine. You cannot be one with divine till you have even one memory left. You have to forget your family. You have to forget your life. You have to forget your body. You have to forget that you were born or you are going to die one day. You have to forget that you are a human. Your only identity about yourself is I am a nobody, only Lord is. Then and then alone absorption happens. Then and then alone we get pulled out of the clutches of Maya. Clutches of Maya is equal to giving validity to the world as separate to us, as separate to the Lord. With that comes the disposition that I have to survive, that I have to do something in order to survive. And other, the world is being a problem. It does not want me to survive, become successful. For that successful, this person is to be blamed, that person to be blamed. And eventually when nobody, we can, apni dal nahi galti. When our khichdi is not cooking there, so we blame God. Why is he like this? Why is making all the bringing problems in my life? But this is how Maya functions. So decide, take a chill pill, invoke the divine slowly and gently. Efforts must not be put with such intensity that you lose, uh, uh, you destroy your family, you destroy your friends, that you destroy your everything in life. We don't have to change anything outside. Everything that needs to change is within. Outside will automatically take care of itself. And how must it happen? Gently, elegantly, without anyone knowing, without this feeling that I am doing something great by listening to satsang or giving satsang. Not bring about a sense of superiority. I do puja every day, I do japa every day. All this is ego trip. That I do 12 malas every day, ego trip. It has to be a secretive journey. You to yourself. Who is that yourself? The Lord within. So and as a result, just as I gave this example last week also, just as our by the grace of the divine, sometime tonight after the satsang, if not during the satsang, I don't know, I can't see your faces, most of you, the sleep catches you from inside. By grace, the sleep says, please give me attention, please give me attention. Then it makes the mouth yawn, it makes the eyes droopy, and it pulls the attention of the mind. And mind suddenly starts thinking, yeah, man, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. Do you do anything to withdraw from the world, or the world withdraws from your mind? The world withdraws from your mind. But what is your mind doing? It is only thinking about sleep. Replace sleep with God. Replace sleep with the divine. Devotees, Mahatmas. See? It's that gentle. Do you ever feel guilty that I'm not giving attention to the world when I'm going to sleep? You don't feel guilty. You don't put yourself down. You are totally available to the sleep. Enough of this world. The world withdraws because you are not available to it. So when we begin to be in the company of those Tvatpada Bhaktanam, to the devotees of the feet of the Lord, to those people who are devoted to the feet of the Lord, slowly, 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 without our knowing, this transformation starts. The world starts leaving our mind of its own accord, without our will. Our will is only in one area. I want to be with the divine theme. And as the world keeps dropping away, a critical point comes where you are free from the ignorance, you are free from the Maya, you are free from the hypnosis of coming and going, you are free from the clutches of birth and death, past and future. Out of the crystallization of personality that I am this body, all this melts away just like it melts in the sleep. And if you are not gone to sleep and you are awake, then eureka! Suddenly you find yourself completely in union with the divine theme. Then there is no practice, then there is no single pointed mind, then there is no world. Then what is there? Then there is only Lord. Such a person, when he comes back, because mind will come back into activity, what he sees? He sees the same divine expressing in and through this world. Now the Maya influence is over. Then he doesn't consider himself to be only this body. Then he is the infinite being, infinite, not other than the infinite Lord, who is pervading everything, who is the material of everything, who is the creator of everything. And you are one with him. What will be your disposition? Same as him. And this is our natural disposition at any given moment of our existence. This is our natural. We have hoodwinked ourselves in thinking that we are the body. And towards that, our Parashuramji is telling this, giving this knowledge. It doesn't need to be given to Ramchandraji. But this is what happens when he has had the darshan. Ramchandraji is standing in front of him, but he got the darshan of Chaturbhuj Narayan. Then he remembered the words of Lord Shiva, Lord Narayana. And with that, he had forgotten the rajas, the warrior, which is the dynamic energy which the Lord had infused in him to bring balance to this creation. So that was covering his Brahmatva, because he was a Brahmin and he is behaving like a warrior, which is a Kshatriya. So the moment the Kshatriyapan, the dynamic force within him became quietened. When does it become quietened? When you go to a temple, your mind becomes quiet. When you go to sleep, it becomes quiet, but out of ignorance. In temple, it becomes quiet, your eyes are open. When you look at, when you are with Mahatmas, all your energy becomes quietened. Exactly the same way, he is only a partial, only a part of the divine was infused into him to get a job done by the divine. And now he is in front of Ramchandraji, the divine himself has come not in a amsh, completely. The moment he comes in front of Ramchandra ji, out of arrogance, out of his past success, he challenged him. Ramchandra ji, he is not phased at all. He can hold the Narayan Dhanush comes into his hand. And that's when he thinks, Arey, ye kaise ho gaya? How did this happen? He closes his eyes. What we do when we go to the temple? We go all decked up, beautiful, shower, fresh clothes, only to close our eyes in front of the Lord. Beautiful statue in front of us. But what do? Close our eyes. Because knowingly or unknowingly, we know God is inside. He also closed, and suddenly everything that he had forgotten became invoked by the presence of the divine in front of him, which is Sri Ram. And this continuous, this Bhagavad Stuti, which is going on right now, continuing in the 40th and the 41st verse, Tataswatnyana sampannaha sadgurustena labhyate vakyajnanam guror labdva tvat prasadad vimuchyate tasma tvad bhakti hinanam kalpakoti shatairapi na mukti shanka vijnana शंका नैव सुखम तथा ततः त्वत् ज्ञान संपन्नः सद्गुरुः तेन लभ्यते. Then that's tata that seeker finds. See how this is the story of my life also. When I'm reading, this is exactly what had happened. Then that seeker finds a true teacher, a moral preceptor who is rich with wisdom and is deeply steeped in the true knowledge pertaining to the self. So this doesn't happen just because you wish. It happens. Oh, but I did not practice any japa and I did not go to any satsang in this life. Must be a carryover from a past life. We all started somewhere. Tell me, how many of you knew Swamiji before? How many of you have had the grace of being with him, traveling with him, staying with him, having him stay at your house, eat at your house, sit with him, laugh with him, talk to him, question him, be scolded by him? How many? Did you have any of this before? Till he came into your life? Did he come into your life because you wanted him to come into your life? Or he came into your life just like that one day? Now you can say, Swamiji, you brought him into our life. But did you know me for that matter? I went to Hobart. Bian did not know me. Someone else brought me. Dr. Raj did not know me. Someone else introduced me to him. Or in different congregations I met, someone just gets attracted like two magnets. And the relationship with Raj and Prashila has been going on, with Bian and Uppi has been going on, with every one of you. Not only mine, but also with Swamiji. Same way Swamiji came into my life, same way he has come into your life, unasked, uninvited, uncalled. That is grace. Catch it. Catch it. See the divine hand in whatever is transpiring in your life. I did not know Nagaraj. I'm just saying Nagaraj because I'm seeing it in front. Just at Sai Temple, one day he met me, and since then we are together. Where Seema and Dinesh, where did they ever think that they will go to Kailash? Suddenly they came into contact. They were in the satsangs, and they went all the way to the abode of Kailash, had darshan. How does this happen? It did not happen because we wanted it. Genuinely ask yourself, even 2 years before going to Kailash, did you even have a thought that you want to go to Kailash? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, maybe. See? And when the calling is true, things work out automatically. Everything falls in place for the journey to happen, for the union to take place, for the devotee to surrender to the Lord. Automatically it happens. But the important part here is the devotee must be empty. The devotion must be genuine, not with a hook that if I go, then I want this in return. See, I told you before also, for 12, 13 years I was doing my sadhana off and on, touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. Then my mother's father initiated me into Kundalini Abhyas. Then one day some habits were coming back. I was thinking I have reached somewhere, God knows where, but feeling was that. And I was so disturbed that why this pattern is repeating. Till the God revealed, you idiot, you have been doing it, I am doing the sadhana. Did you ever offer the sadhana to me? Or did you ever see that I am the inspirer of that sadhana? Whatever shift is taking place in you is because of my grace. But you are in your own head thinking, I am doing the sadhana, I am doing the kundalini, I am doing the pranayam, I am doing the meditation. I am. Maro jaake. And that night I cried and cried and cried and cried. And I started taking the name of the Lord. And within 6 months, so I met Swamiji in my life, got Swamiji in my life. I knew where the journey was going. I was going to Himalayas, I have taken one-way ticket, I have resigned from my work. I'm going because it's an unstoppable thing. It's not my decision, it's happening. In retrospect, I'm saying that I did this, I did that, but it was happening. I don't know who's going to be my teacher. I just know that I can only take the name of the Lord and remember Him and surrender to Him, and He alone will appear as the right teacher in my life. And at that time, by grace alone, I started reading some biography, some Mahatmas. Then I read, or some Vivekananda's book, something. Then when I read that, I said, no. I want such a teacher, Lord. I'm taking your name. Please make sure whenever you appear, don't get me caught up in anything. I want to be totally free. I want to be a free bird. I'm not an organizational man. I'm not a cult man. I'm not in that, all that. And he brought me to that type of teacher. And what did that teacher tell me when it came to at a crisis point? He said, don't hold on to me, hold on to the Lord. See, the grace comes into our life as love for the Lord. When we have love and devotion and surrender towards the Lord appears in our life as scriptures, or interest in studying the scriptures, or forget about scriptures, interested to know more about how I can maintain this connection with the divine. Why it is breaking again and again? How can I have a continuous engagement with the divine? We want to learn the technique, methodology. We want to engage with him continuously. When that feeling is there, from within it comes. Just by doing japa, that will happen. As your mind quietens down, this feeling will come, because every now and then there will be some events in your life which will break that single pointed approach within towards the divine. So where am I going wrong? Where am I falling short? Then scriptures come into your life. When you open the scriptures, you don't understand. Then if you have utter faith in the divine, then he appears as the teacher to explain the scriptures. Or vice versa. The Lord can appear as Guru Maharaj, who teaches you through the scriptures. He doesn't say that these are my words, that this is that. This is how it is. He may, a realized master may speak words. He doesn't need scriptures, because he himself is a scripture. And what is the purpose of a Guru Maharaj? What is the purpose of scriptures? To invoke the Atma Bala. To invoke the faith in yourself that you have the capacity to surrender completely. That you have the capacity and the acumen and the required strength to remain focused on the divine. That's all. Because in the end, you have to walk your path. Nobody can walk it for you. Each one of us has to walk our journey, walk through our journey. For that, strength is required. Fearlessness is required. Where will that strength and fearlessness come from? It will come from realization that I am nobody, God is everything. From this conviction. So surrender again and again. This is the entire purpose of the scriptures and Guru Maharaj. Tat swadhyana sampannaha sadguruhu tena labhyate. As a result, the seeker, the contemplator, of whatever your stage in life is, you find a true teacher who is rich in wisdom and is deeply steeped in true knowledge. Wisdom does not come by reading books. True knowledge does not come by reading books and scriptures. Then where does it come from? It comes by God's grace. Wisdom is your nature. True knowledge is your nature. Then what is scriptures? It is broken knowledge. Every word is separate. You are just putting it together and thinking it is knowledge. You are of the nature of knowledge, which is continuous, unspoken, without words. That is true knowledge. That is wisdom. And having attained knowledge of the supreme truth, vakya jnanam guror labdhva tat prasadad vimuchyate. And having attained knowledge of the supreme truth or reality in the shape of mahavakyas, vakya jnanam. What are the mahavakyas? Mahavakyas are Ayam Atma Brahma. Ayam Atma Brahma. This Atma is Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma. The knowledge is Brahman, or Brahman is knowledge. Meaning, whatever knowledge, pragya is in the, when nothing is in your mind, no thought in your mind, pragya is still there. The intelligence, that itself is Brahman. Third, Tattvamasi. This is also a Mahavakya. You are that. It should be the other way. First one should be Prajnanam Brahma. Second is Ayam Atma Brahma. Third is Tattvamasi. And when you contemplate on Tattvamasi, the realization is Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means I am Brahman. Brahman means the total reality. Infinite reality, absolute reality. God, Ishvara, always knows that. That's why he is not under the clutches of Maya. When he is under the clutches of Maya, then he is called individual. As if. So you are making a fool out of yourself by thinking you are an individual who is born, who is going to die, who has to survive, who has to collect a portfolio for the future, for the children, for the coming generations, that you have to change the world. But who are you in essence? You are the infinite one. So somewhere, kahin tanka wrong hai. Somewhere something is going wrong in our understanding. To correct this understanding, we come to satsang again and again. We come to be with the Mahatmas again and again. See? So these are the four. They are not only four Mahavakyas, these are the four famous ones. There are many of them. Ekam Brahmatmaikya Bodha, Ekameva Dvitiya, Nanasti Kinchana, Ishavasya Midagam Sarvam. These are all different Mahavakyas. Many of them are there. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So he says, after having attained knowledge of the supreme truth reality in shape of Mahavakyas, the eternal truths, and these Mahavakyas come from the Upanishads, which are the knowledge part of the Vedas, he gets emancipation and salvation by your grace and kindness. What did I just say before? That it is only by grace. But you have to think of the grace for the grace to be showered. If you think you are a calm person, you are a calm person. If you think you are an angry person, you are an angry person. If you think you are a hateful person, you are a hateful person. If you think you are depressed, you are depressed. If you think you are happy, you are happy. You create your own reality. Then why don't you say, I am perfect, and work towards it? In essence, I am perfect. And that perfection will not reveal as long as I am, as an individual, as long as I am engaged with the mind. I need to transcend the mind. Work towards it. Tasmat tvad bhakti hinanam kalpakoti shatairapi. Hence, those who are devoid of your devotion and dedication cannot expect to have even a remote chance, either emancipation and salvation, or Brahmagnan. न मुक्ति शंका विज्ञान शंका न एव सुखम तथा nor even happiness. And that Brahma Gyan, that is, it is a microcosmic fraction of the vast macrocosmic supreme soul in millions of kalpas. In other words, even though you are divine, but behaving as if you are undivine, and who will remain in this undivine as the undivine? Those who do not have devotion towards the Lord, those who do not surrender to the Lord, those who do not remain in the company of the divine devotees. That is most eternally, they will be entangled in the web of Maya and mundane world and its incumbent cycle of birth and death. Further, this is why there is no chance or scope of their ever having real true happiness and bliss. After reading this, we are still lost in what is going to be there for dinner. That I have to do this and do that. The ego, we are all egoistic people. Why? Because we haven't experienced the divinity yet. What does the ego express as? Karta and bhokta, doer and enjoyer. Both of these fellows have to melt. Both of these have to melt, dissolve. And ego cannot dissolve ego. Ego cannot dissolve the doer, ego cannot dissolve the enjoyer. Because these are its two horns, two tentacles. How can it dissolve? But ego wants to survive eternally. This is the Ravana's question, Tripurasura's question, Hiranyakashipu's question, Hiranyaksha's question. I want to live eternally. And what is ego? Which is identified with the body. They all were identified with the body, great Brahmagnani, knowledgeable persons, but still identified to the body, meaning the Panchakoshas. And they want to be eternal with those Panchakoshas. It is not possible. But this is how we are made up of. Ego, the nature of ours is eternal, which we have forgotten, and we have put on the hat of the ego, and the ego is expressing as doing and enjoying. Now it needs to be given a field of engagement by convincing the ego logically that if you engage in this manner, you may come to be eternal. The ego is being given a vision that if you surrender to Lord, you will become eternal. If you surrender to the self, you will become eternal. That you actually are, the reason you are not being eternal ego is because you are identified with the changing and you are not identified with the constant. But ego also wants to be eternal. Everyone wants to extend their life. They want to extend their beauty even if there are wrinkles on the body. Do plastic surgery, no wrinkles. Take medicine, I don't want to die. Do exercise, I want to be youthful. So we are not tricking the ego, we are re-educating the ego that, hey ego, the one you think you are is not true. The one who is always there is the true one. And that is who you are in essence. Seek that, and this continuous struggle to remain continuous and gain happiness, which is only temporary, which comes and goes, enjoyment which comes and goes, you will be free of that. Once it clicks to the ego that, hey, that is true, man, that is so logical, it is so possible. The moment it thinks it is going to be, yes, it is a possibility, grace flows. And the attention of the ego is pulled inwards. Because by nature, ego is extroverted. But when it understands, we will say it is also because of the Lord. But also by continuous satsang, by continuous engagement with devotees of the Lord, by continuous engagement with the scriptures, continuous engagement with japa, continuous, persistent, regular practice. The ego gets refined. It is within the base of the ego is diamond, but on top of it is all the coal. When we look, we see it is the coal. We say, hey, coal, you drop yourself away, you are actually diamond. Oh, really? I don't see it. I can see only darkness. And we chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away. What are we chipping away? Doing pranayam, doing satsang, being in devotees, doing bhajan, sankirtan, meditation, etc., etc., etc. Then we start getting glimpses here and there. That inspires us even further to do more work with ourselves. Surrender more. Let go. We can't let go. We become available more and more to the divine. We stop imposing ourselves on anything or anyone. We see the hand of the divine in everything, or attempt to see at least. So here he's saying in the notes that the four Mahavakyas of the Vedas are the following. Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is Brahman. It is extracted from Aitreya Upanishad of the Rig Veda. Tattvamasi, thou art that thou art. It is from the Chandogya Upanishad in the Sama Veda. I am Atma Brahma. This is the self is Brahman. This Atma is Brahman. It is taken from Mandukya Upanishad of Atharva Veda. And Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. It appears in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of Yajur Veda. So from each of the four Vedas, one Mahavakya has been taken. And the meaning I have already told you. The Prajnanam Brahma is the one and the same consciousness acts as the common substratum for both the micro and the macro. Micro is the individual, macro is the Lord. The consciousness that the Lord is and the consciousness that I am, the water that the wave is and the water that the ocean is, one and the same. The gold that the total gold is or one ornament is, it's the same gold. But there it is different. Water and ocean is, wave and ocean is better. Individual space of the house and total space of the universe, that you can put it. Micro and macro. The consciousness in me and the consciousness that is running the whole world perfectly, the Lord of the universe, it's the same consciousness. There cannot be two consciousnesses. Then second one is Tattvamasi, that infinite, all pervading truth, is the consciousness in you. So, first conclusion was the micro and the macro. Every consciousness, I am consciousness, I have consciousness in me, you are conscious, every one of us is conscious, every tree is conscious, every animal is conscious. So, all individual consciousnesses are not separate to the total consciousness. And that consciousness, now you bring it subjectively, that conscious, Tattvamasi, you are that. You are that consciousness. Because our attention was always outside, so our attention from the form and the shapes and the variety was brought to the common principle, which was the consciousness, which is making everything sentient. And we believe there is some Lord, Ishvara, who is running the whole world, who is the Lord of the whole world. He must be conscious, he cannot be inert. If he is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer, then he must be conscious. And I am also conscious. Tattvamasi, you are that. So now suddenly, from outside, the attention is of the seeker is brought to within the body. You are the conscious. Yeah, I am the consciousness, like everyone's consciousness. I am also conscious. You are that total consciousness. Tattvamasi. The Atma, which forms the very core, inner self of Jiva and forms its core personality, is the same as the universally prevalent supreme absolute consciousness called Brahman. The nature of this Atma and the nature of the supreme reality is one and the same. See? And the last one, kya tha last one? Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, the consciousness factor within the precincts of the creature's inner self is the same as the supreme consciousness, which is the Brahman. As a natural quality, therefore, the Jiva becomes synonymous with Brahman. Not Jiva, this is wrong conclusion. The Atma becomes Atma and synonymous with Brahman, not Jiva. The Atma is synonymous with Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. You can say Jiva, why? He is saying aham, 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 I. So as long as you are thinking, you are an individual. Where individual drops, meaning thinking stops, there the reality begins. It's not big. Again, it's the play of words. It doesn't begin. It's not even that we become one with it. It reveals completely without a break thereafter. It's no longer a glimpse. It's no longer touch and go. Or I missed it again. Pakdo. कहाँ चला गया उधर है इधर है कहीं नहीं है. Continuing 42 and 43. अतस्त्वत्पादयुगले भक्तिर्मे जन्म जन्मनि स्यात्त्वद्भक्तिमतां संगः अविद्यायाभ्यां विनश्यति लोके त्वद्भक्तिनिरताः त्वद्धर्मामृतवर्षिणः पुनन्ति लोकमखिलं किं पुनः स्वकुलोद्भवान्. Therefore, my only wish, desire is to have devotion and worship in your two holy feet and I should have company of your devotees for all my births and ages to come, because ignorance can be illuminated only by these two ways only. See? Ignorance is what? As Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, incomplete knowledge. What is incomplete knowledge? Incomplete knowledge is I am an individual. Complete knowledge is I alone am. Without a thought. Important. This is from Vedanta point of view. From devotion point of view, individual approach is I am. Removal of ignorance, Lord alone is. He is the divine. He is the divine consciousness. He is the divine light. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्यतो भांति कुतोयम अग्नि तमेव भांतम अनुभाति सर्वम तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. He is the light of all lights. He is even in our life, the light is fire, lightning, moonlight, sunlight, starlight. These are the 5 sources of light. And who is the Lord? He is even their Father. He is more effulgent than even the sun and the stars and the moon and the lightning and the fire. None of these 5 sources of light can illuminate that ultimate, that divine Lord. So these two methods are the only ways to remove or to go from incomplete knowledge to complete knowledge. One is company of devotees of the Lord, those who are devoted to the feet of the Lord, and the other is devotion to your holy feet. So my heart is at your feet. 1, 2, I am continuously seeking those people whose heart is at your feet. Incomplete knowledge means ignorance. Ignorance means darkness. How can darkness remove darkness? You need light to remove darkness. And the Lord is of the nature of light. He is effulgent. As the verse said, na tatra suryo bhati. अतः त्वत्पाद युगले भक्तिर्मे जन्म जन्मनि स्यात्वत् भक्तिमतां संगः अविद्यायाभ्याम विनश्यति. So by these two methods, it is up to you. You want to give me birth again and again? I am ready for it. But let in every birth I have these two. One is devotion to your feet, and the other devotion, continuously be in the company of those devotees who are devoted to your feet. I don't mind rebirth. Phenomena will continue. Very rare few people are those who get liberated. From a relative standpoint, from devotion standpoint, this is liberation. Because phenomena is going to continue. See, phenomena is not going to stop. लोके त्वद् भक्ति निरताः त्वद् धर्मामृतवर्षिणः पुनन्ति लोकमखिलं किं पुनः स्वकुलोद्भवान्. in the world who are steadfastly vigilant and eager towards your devotion, adoration, and worship, as well as in showering, preaching, spreading the nectar like rain of the righteous, noble, and upright path shown by you, which is called Dharma. And who are these people? Who are these people who are continuously spreading the Sanatana Dharma, who are continuously spreading your glory, spreading your name? Look at ISKCON people. Everywhere they go, Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness. But it becomes an obsession with them rather than a transformation. We must be transformed. When we want others to follow our way, then we want to convert. Then there is no difference between the Abrahamic religions and Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is to be practiced within our heart for our transformation. When we transform, automatically those who are connected to us will transform. It is inevitable. How can darkness remove darkness? It cannot. But the moment light comes, darkness becomes absent. Spreading the nectar, righteous and upright path shown by you, which is called Dharma, such person not only purify and redeem the whole world at large, but also those born in their own clan. There is no doubt about it. Such people, such satsangis, such mahatmas, such sannyasis, such teachers, such gurus, whether they be grahast or sannyasi, their journey is of self-perfection, but in that journey of self-perfection, without too much imposition, forcefulness, affect those who are around them. Not only that, they affect them, but also their clan. That means their family also gets blessed. This is what our Parashuram ji is saying. And therefore, he is talking about himself only, because his family, mother was killed, brothers were killed, he was killed 21 times. Now he challenged Ramchandra ji, and you know the story. And suddenly the what is there in the core of his heart, that comes out. Just being in the presence of Sri Ram, that comes out. And now towards the conclusion of this chapter, Namostu Jagatam Natha, Namaste Bhakti Bhavana, Namah Karuni Kananta, Ramachandra Namostute. फिर से we'll chant Namo. I'll read it here. Where is the verse number 44? नमोस्तु जगतां नाथ, नमस्ते भक्ति भावना, नमः कारुणिकानंद, रामचंद्र नमोस्तु ते। देव यद्यत्कृतं पुण्यं मया लोकजिगीषया, तत्सर्वं तव बाणाय भूयाद् राम नमोस्तु ते। Namostu Jagatam Natha, Namaste Bhakti Bhavana. I bow to that who is revered and adored by the whole world. Jagatam Natha, who is the Lord of the world. Namaste Bhakti Bhavana, who is loved and adored by all. Or otherwise, Namaste Bhakti Bhavana, the one who is not interested in the data. Bhakti Bhavana. Remember in previous verse I was explaining that he is hungry for your heart. He is not hungry for how many times you have done the mala, how many scriptures you have completed, how many classes you are taking, how many times Bhagavad Gita you have read, how many verses you have by hearted, how many bhajans you know by heart without reading. He is not interested in that. वो भाव का भूखा है. He is hungry for your emotions. He is hungry for your heart. He is hungry for your devotion, your love. So Namaste Bhakti Bhavana, that you are the one, salutations to the one who loves devotion, Bhakti Bhavana. Namak Karuni Kananta, Ramachandra Namastute. I bow before you to pay my obeisance. O the merciful and compassionate one, Karuni, Karuna Nidhan. Another word for the Lord, Karuna Nidhan. Ramachandra is called, Bhagwan Ramachandra is called Karuna Nidhan. You are the compassionate and you are Ananta, one without an end, endless. Meaning, who can be one without an end? It has to be the divine, who never ends. I bow before you, O Lord Sri Ramchandra. I repeatedly bow before you to pay my respect. Deva yad yad krutam punyam maya loka jigishaya. O Lord, whatever righteous and noble deeds that I have done with the object of attaining the world, symbolizing righteousness, nobility, good virtues and deeds, let all those worlds be the target of your arrow. See, remember what Ramchandraji told? Anyone remembers while Parashuramji is saying this? Sri Ram, when he put his hand out, the Narayana Dhanush from the hands of Parashuram sped into the hands of Sri Ram. Sri Ram immediately put the string around it, took the bow out of his quiver and put it. And then he told Parashuram, Parashuram, now you tell me, what should I do with this arrow? You know, you very well know, that once an arrow has been placed on the bow, Narayan Dhanush, it needs a target. It cannot go wild. Because it needs a target. You have to give it a target. Here he is giving it the target. What is that? Deva yad yad kritam punyam. Whatever by God's grace, the righteous deeds, the punya that I have accrued, loka jigishaya, and that I have attained through my actions in this world. And what has given me the punya? All the righteous acts, noble acts, the virtuous acts, the good deeds. Let all those worlds be the target of your arrow. Meaning, by your presence, darkness has already gone. All the pap, all the sin, merely by your presence, it has vanished from me, O Lord. But whatever punya, the goodness is still there in me, let that also be destroyed by this arrow. when we, as a seeker, when we pursue the sadhana, we go from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. Tamas is nitra, alasya, pramad. Rajas is kama, krodha, lobha, mada matsarya. Negative side. Positive side is I am doing my sadhana, I am regular in my sadhana, I am committed to my sadhana, I am dedicated to my sadhana, I do my puja, sandhya, japa every day. This is rajas. This is rajas. Because doing is involved. Then what is sattva? Sattva is when it leads to quietness. Then that is sattva. But how long does the sattva last? Only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 minute, 1 second. And rest of the time, lage Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's good to do that, no doubt. But truth is beyond that. Lord is beyond that. And such devotees at times can become arrogant, sattvic arrogance, that I am a devotee of a Lord. I am doing so many sadhanas. I get up in the morning. I do my puja. I take cold water shower. I eat only once a day. I eat without onion and garlic. I don't sleep without taking the name of the Lord for so many malas. It becomes an ego trip. This is sattvic ego. That I listen to satsang, that I am giving lectures every day. You are giving lectures to someone. Any transformation coming in you? Don't ask that. I know how to transform people, but about transforming myself, I don't know how to. Only God will do it. But you are talking about God. Are you not listening to yourself? No, I am speaking to others. I am talking to others. But are you not listening to yourself? Do I have to listen to myself? We have all the wisdom for others. But when it comes to its application on ourselves, we find a big zero. Yeah, we find a big zero. We find incapable. We have wisdom for others. So this sattvic punya. So what is this you and me are doing? We are engaging with the divine. We are talking about divine. We are listening to divine. Adhyatma Ramayana, Ram's Leela, coming to understand his true nature. Here suddenly another avatar, Parashuram, is also there. All these are divine thoughts. Adhyatma Ramayana, technically they should take us within, dissolve the Rajasic personality in the form of Parashuram within us, and invoke the Ram within our heart. That is the technology. But when we are not available, then it becomes that, oh, Adhyatma class was very good, satsang was very good. I go to satsang every Saturday. This becomes sattvic ego. Parashuram ji, because he remembered, suddenly by being in the presence of Sri Ram, he remembered all those things. What tapasya he has done, God has blessed him with the amsha of Shakti to destroy the Kshatriyas. All that he remembered. He remembered also that it was the Lord's doing that he killed the warriors 21 times. And for 1,000 years he was sitting in meditation till the bow was broken, the Shiva Dhanush was broken, Pinaka Dhanush, and he came. We think in our life we are running our life. Something else is making things go around and round and round. You are not making the waking dream sleep come and go every day. Are you making it happen? Or it's happening? Then what right do you have to say that I have to live my life? Life is also happening in the waking. Life is also happening. When you become awake to that, you are one with the divine. Right now, we are trying to live life, we are trying to survive, we are trying to accumulate, we are trying to secure, we are trying to be in control of our life, of our health, of our finances, of our children, of our parents, of our husband and wife, or whatever, friends, and this and that, and everything. All this is for survival. All this is for relationship. All this is for give and take. All this is out of guilt. My parents did so much, so I have to do something in return. Guilt. This is how we have been wired. If you do it as a duty, fantastic. Then consider them Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava. Consider them as God. Sir, you will be free. But majority of us do it out of guilt or do it out of expectations that if I do this for them, they will do something in return. Like people go to birthday parties, take a present, and then expect I spent $200 for the present of their child. Now my child's birthday is there. They gave only $10 present. Next time I'm not going to call. This is the attitude. I gave a birthday party in a 5-star hotel. They gave only in a small restaurant. Next time I'm not going to call them. This is not what this is. If waking dream and deep sleep is not happening because of your will, it's cyclical. What makes you think whatever is happening in waking and dream is happening by your will? It is not. This shift in understanding must come about, and it will come about only by His grace. Think about what I just said again and again and again and again and again till you don't come to any conclusion, because there is no conclusion. And when there is no conclusion, you will only hold on to the feet of the Lord. And when He gives the answer, there is no conclusion required, because He is all that there is. देखो बड़ा मजा आता है. O Lord, whatever righteous and noble deeds that I have done with the object of attaining world, symbolizing righteousness, nobility, good virtue and deeds, let all those worlds be the target of your arrow. Let all those worlds. These are the Punya Lokas. Which are the Punya Lokas? Bhuva, Sua, Tapa, Jana, Maha, Satyam. All these are. Bhu we are already on. Earth. So these 7 lokas, if you want to use earth also, where you are doing some good, like you are gracing me with your ears. So all these are punya lokas, one higher than the other. We have to transcend these 7 lokas. Vaikuntha is not at Sahasrar. It is beyond that. It is not, Satyalok is not Vaikuntha. We have to go beyond Brahmalok. Brahmalok is Satyalok. We have to go beyond. And who can take us beyond? Who is beyond? think about him, contemplate on him, be one with him. So he says, so that no attraction for these punya lokas may remain in my heart, in my mind and heart, because I help them to get rid of all the kshatriyas. You shoot your arrow to destroy all my punya. You have destroyed my papa, now you destroy my punya also. Pap and punya is only at the mind level. Sukha dukkha samay kritva, labha labha jaya jayo. Sukha dukkha, joy and sukha joy, dukkha misery. Joy and misery. Gain and loss. Merit and demerit. Papa punya, merit and demerit. Or sin. Merit and sin. All this is only at the mental level. It is for the ego. All opposites are for the ego. For the divine, there is no opposite. He alone is everything. He cannot say that I am doing something good for the other. Cannot. Because he is everything. So when he says that you shoot your arrow to destroy my punya, destroy my merit also. And then what will happen? My mind will be free of all thoughts. No good thoughts, no bad thoughts. Because everything destroyed. Ashes to ashes. Then what remains? I without a thought remain. Then only the divine remains. Such is the journey. We'll look at further verses in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.